Too often we find ourselves in shoes like these, or these. Wouldn't it be nice to change into something more like this, or this? How about these? Put on whatever shoes you prefer and come to Beaver County. We have exactly the adventure you need to put under them. So the next time you want to change out of these, come to Beaver County where you can jump into a pair of these. Beaver County, Utah. Lace up for adventure.
I'm Dave Hansen. I'm from Spanish Fork, Utah. Run the Napa store down there. It's on 855 South Main Street. We've been there for 18 years. We're out to serve the community. We've got employees there that know what needs to be done and how to fix vehicles. I would guess we're probably coming up on 75 years worth of
And hello and welcome live from Spanish Fork as our Lady Dons are facing off against the Desert Hills Thunder, and that is ball one outside. And hello and welcome from Spanish Fork as our Lady Dons are live against the Desert Hills Thunder. That is the second ball to the leadoff hitter for this Thunder's team, the senior pitcher, Bree St. Clair. And the 2-0 is fouled back off the bat of St. Clair. The pitcher today for the Lady Dons will be Breely Young. And another fastball for a strike will bring the 2-2. And a swing and a pitch grounded over to the third baseman, and a nice throw over just in time, and a great play by Mallory Barber over at third for the first out of the inning here in the top of the first. The lineup for the Thunder today will be as follows: Bree St. Clair leading off, Caitlin Phillips batting second, Addison Betts third, Victoria Hinton fourth, Kylie Christensen playing center and batting fifth. The designated player in today's game, Oakley Giacoletto, will bat sixth, Morgan Rosemeyer will bat seventh, Quincy Staley eighth, and Abigail Black to round out the order, as that is ball one just inside to the junior third baseman, Caitlin Phillips. And she will have a tough task today of having to get a hit off this Lady Dons ace, Breely Young. As that pitch is again just low and inside, bringing the count to 2-0 now. Breely pitched the opener for the Lady Dons in this state tournament. A 18-1 win over the Canyon View Falcons. As that pitch is popped up to the catcher, and a nice play by Breely Rudd for the second out of the inning here in the top of the first. Caitlin Phillips just barely able to get a piece of that, pops that straight up to the catcher, and a nice play by Rudd for the second out. And a quick 1-2 for Young, just what the doctor ordered for the Dons here in the top of the first. And that will bring up the junior shortstop, Addison Betts. Betts batting in the 3-hole for the Thunder today. As she takes strike one on the inside corner. Betts a .556 hitter on the year. The real power hitter on this team, leading the team with 11 home runs and 42 RBIs. As she swings and hits that one out into left field. And the center fielder, McKay Condi, able to get over and get under that. And a quick 1-2-3 top of the first inning for the Lady Dons here in this elimination game of the 2018 state tournament. And as we head now to the bottom of the first, we'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors for today's game: the Tony Basso Auto Group, Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson State Farm, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Mikkel Christiansen Wise, Attorneys at Law, MVP Sports, and Two Jacks Pizza. And as the Dons now come up to the plate. We will take a moment to announce their lineup, but before we do that, we'd like to remind you that you can watch this game on youtube.com/SpanishFork17 in what should be a good one as these two teams face off in the losers bracket. Both teams bidding to get to tomorrow. We'll have another game at noon if the Lady Dons are able to win this one, and if they win that one, they'll be able to advance to the final day of play in this 2018 state tournament tomorrow. How we got here, the Dons are 24-2 on the year. They did lose their last game. On Monday, they were able to knock off the Canyon View Falcons 18-1 and then take down the Ridgeline Riverhawks 10-3 before falling 2-1 yesterday to end a 21-game winning streak. A tough loss, and for the Thunder, as that pitch is outside and low to the leadoff hitter Mallory Barber. For the Thunder so far in this tournament, a 5-2 win over Lehigh in the first round before falling to Tooele 10-4 on the afternoon last Monday as that pitch is fouled off, bringing the count even at 1-1. Desert Hills bounced back nicely with a 12-6 win over Orem yesterday at 1:30, and then a 6-5 win over Uinta at 3:30. So avoiding elimination twice as Mallory Barber now steps up to the plate for the Dons. And that pitch is low and in the dirt for ball two. The pitcher today for the Thunder will be the senior, Bree St. Clair. St. Clair also the leadoff hitter in today's game for the Thunder, grounded out to third back in the top of the first inning. As that pitch is outside, bringing the count to 3-1 on Barber. Barber, a very dangerous hitter for this Dons team. And she will take ball four for a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the first. A bad recipe for the Thunder as base runners always lead to trouble as this Dons team hits a lot of home runs. 76 home runs so far on the season. And the shortstop, Gabby Beckstrom, will now step to the plate as she pops that first pitch up. And it's on the infield. A nice play over there by the third baseman, Caitlin Phillips, for the first out of the inning. And Mallory Barber will stay on first as the dangerous right fielder Jordan Bates steps up to the plate. And that is strike one to Bate. As I mentioned, the pitcher today, Bree St. Clair, the most used pitcher on this staff by far, as that one is ball one outside, bringing the count to 1-1 now. And a swing and a miss will bring the count to 1-2 now here in the bottom of the first. One out, one runner on first base on the leadoff walk by Mallory Barber. Beckstrom then popped out to third, and now Jordan Bate with her turn to get her hacks as that is up and away, bringing the count to 2-2 now. The pitcher for the Thunder, Bree St. Clair, as we mentioned, has 27 appearances. She is 13-3 on the year with a 2.87 ERA. Definitely the ace of this staff. As that ball is ripped over to second base and bobbled, picked up and not in time, and everyone will be safe. A tough play over there for Victoria Hinton, the Thunder second baseman. Able to knock that ball down but not recover in time, and that will be a one-out base hit here in the bottom of the first. Runners on first and second now as the catcher, Breely Rudd, now steps to the plate. Rudd, the most dangerous hitter on this Lady Dons team. She has 20 homers on the year, followed closely by Bate, the previous hitter, with 19. So a lot of from 3-4 hole here on this Lady Dons roster as there are runners on first and second now with only one out here in the bottom of the first. And a strike from St. Clair will bring the count to 0-1. And that pitch is just outside, almost able to catch the corner, bringing the count to 1-1 now. Bree St. Clair has thrown 151 innings this year. The next closest pitcher, only 11, as that pitch is low, bringing the count to 2-1 now. So definitely the horse of this staff, giving up 62 earned runs while striking out a whopping 219 hitters over the course of the season, as that pitch is up, bringing the count to 3-1 on Rudd. 219 strikeouts to only 42 walks. St. Clair, definitely a star on this team. But in a tough situation here, as the 3-1 is popped up down the left field line, and the left fielder makes a nice play out there. Abigail Black for the second out of the inning here in the bottom of the first. Big out for the Thunder as Breely Rudd flies out to left. Mallory Barber is on second, Jordan Bate on first, and the second baseman for these Lady Dons, Aislinn Sharp, now stepping to the plate. As that pitch is also fouled off down the left side, bringing the count to 0-1 on Sharp. The rest of the Dons lineup today will be Aislinn Sharp, then Breely Young, followed by the first baseman Amanda Mitchell, then the center fielder Marie Condi, and Trinity Benson, left fielder, will round it out as that pitch is squared around for a bunt, and it will drop, and everyone will be safe. A little bit of an interesting situation there. And choice to try to lay down a bunt with 2 outs, but dropped that in nicely. St. Clair dove in, attempted to make the play, but it just drops in, and the bases are now loaded on that bunt single. As Barber is able to move over to third, Bate over to second, and Aislinn Sharp now on first base here. And that will bring up the Lady Dons pitcher, Breely Young, as she takes strike one here. Big opportunity for the Lady Dons here in the bottom of the first. Bases loaded with 2 outs, no runs in. Still a 0-0 game. As that pitch is popped up out into center field, and it will drop. 2 runs will score. And we will have first and third. The throw gets a little wild, and another run will come in to score. A little bit of sloppy play right there. And 3 runs coming to score on the bloop single. Mallory Barber and Jordan Bate coming in on the single, and Aislinn Sharp coming in on the throwing error, as Breely Young is able to move over to second on the throw as well. 3-0 now for the Lady Dons here in the bottom of the first. And the first baseman, Amanda Mitchell, will now step up to the plate. Here with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. And we have a pinch runner over on second base for the pitcher, Breely Young. It will be number 24, Brooke Carter, trying to give Breely a little bit of a rest as she will be out on the mound and help her settle in and focus before she comes out to pitch. And a single through the right side, and that will bring in another run as the Dons extend their lead to 4-0. And a bad throw by the right fielder, Quincy Staley, as that gets away from the shortstop, Addison Betts, allowing Amanda Mitchell to move over to second there. Not Breely Young, the pinch runner coming in to score there. Amanda Mitchell moving over to second on the throw, and what looked like it could have been a damage-averted inning for the Thunder, getting that second out on the big flyout of Breely Young. Aislinn Sharp with the bunt single to load the bases, and then Breely Young with the bloop single, Amanda Mitchell with the ground ball single through the right side, and 4 runs already across here in the bottom of the first. And the Dons will be looking for more as the center fielder Marie Condi steps up to the plate. As we have a moment here as the Thunder have a meeting on the mound, we will take you through the defensive orientation for the Desert Hills Thunder today. From left to right in the outfield, we have Abigail Black in left, Kylie Christensen in center, and Quincy Staley in right. And around the horn in the infield, Caitlin Phillips at third, Addison Betts at short, Victoria Hinton at second, and Kodalyn Olds at first. And the backstop will be Morgan Rosemeyer behind the plate and Bree St. Clair, as we've mentioned earlier, with the pitching duties as she throws strike one to the center fielder Marie Condi. And the pitch outside will bring the count to 1-1 on Condi now. Condi at the plate for her first time today. And a nice off-speed pitch there by St. Clair will bring the count to 1-2 now. The Thunder a strike away from getting out of this inning now. As that pitch is just fouled off. Nice job staying alive by Condi as the count will remain 1-2 here with 2 outs. Amanda Mitchell on second. Driving in Breely Young on the RBI single just a moment ago. And a pitch just outside will bring the count even to 2-2. Condi is a .385 hitter on the year. And a swing and a miss, and that will end the inning here in the first, but not before lots of damage is done. 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 runner left on base, and after 1 here in Spanish Fork, it is 4-0 Dons here on SF-17.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Christiansen, and Wise.
And welcome back here in Spanish Fork for this elimination game in the 2018 high school state tournament. The Dons have won 3 straight state championships and will be looking for their 4th, but they will have quite a road to get there now, as they will have to win this game today and at 12 as well against the winner of the game next door, and then they will have to win 3 tomorrow, but don't count these Dons out as they have gone off to a quick 4-0 lead here in the first inning. A great all-around performance as 8 batters come to the plate as Breely Young now steps back out onto the mound as that pitch gets up and in to the sophomore second baseman, Victoria Hinton. Victoria Hinton at the plate for her first time today. A quick 1-2-3 inning worked by Breely Young in the top of the first as St. Clair, Phillips, and Betts all went down. A swing and a miss there to Hinton. And Breely Young looks like she is dealing early in this one. And that pitch is fouled back to Hinton, off the bat of Hinton, bringing the count to 1-2. And that pitch is popped up over to the third baseman, and a nice play by Mallory Barber for the first out of the inning here in the top of the second. 4 up, 4 down here in the early going for Breely Young, who has looked very impressive out on the mound. And a first pitch fouled back to the junior center fielder, Kylie Christensen. Kylie up for the first time today. And the 0-1 just outside will bring the count to 1-1 now. Breely Young is a junior for this Lady Don staff, and she is the second most used pitcher behind Jordan Bate, the senior. You would expect that Bate would pitch the game later today should the Lady Dons advance, as that ball is flied out to center field and will bounce off the top of the wall. The runner is going for second, and she is thrown out. A great throw out there by McKay Condi, and a little bit of a tough break for Kylie Christensen, who just missed a homer out there in right center by about a foot. Instead tries to turn and go to second base and gets thrown out on a gun throw by McKay Condi for the second out of the inning here. And that is 2 outs now in the top of the second as Oakley Giacoletto, the designated player, now steps up to the plate. And she swings through that one for strike one. And a pitch just inside will bring the count to 1-1 on Giacoletto. As I mentioned a moment ago, Breely Young on the year, 38 and a third innings pitched. Only 11 earned runs allowed to go along with 51 strikeouts to 3 walks, so a really impressive ratio there as she gets ahead 1-2 now as that pitch is fouled off to the left side off the bat of Giacoletto. And a pitch for strike 3 will end the inning. The first strikeout of the day for Breely Young, adding to her total now 52nd strikeout on the year for Young to go with 3 walks and that 2.01 ERA. She is living up to it early as she is 7-0 on the year, looking for that 8th win. And as we head now to the bottom of the second, we'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors for today's game. The Tony Basso Auto Group, Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson State Farm, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Mikkel Christiansen Wise, Attorneys at Law, MVP Sports, Sporting Goods for all seasons, and 2 Jacks Pizza. And Breely Young looking very dominant out on the mound in the early going, 6 up and 6 down. Did allow a base hit that last inning, but Kylie Christensen, the junior center fielder for the Thunder, thrown out trying to stretch that single into a double and just missed a homer there off the top of the wall for Christensen. And a little bit of a lucky break for the Dons as they are up 4-0 now as we head to the bottom of the second, and they look to continue swinging the bats well after bringing 8 hitters up to the plate back in the bottom of the first inning. And the freshman left fielder number 16, Trinity Benson, will be leading it off for the Dons here in the bottom of the second. Desert Hills Thunder doing handshakes and having fun out there on the mound. Good to see that they're still loose despite being down 4-0 here in the early going as our Lady Dons look to extend this lead. And a bunt foul as that catches the leg of Benson as she is moving out of the box. Bringing the count to 0-1. And a pitch up will bring the count even to 1-1 on Benson. No outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Lady Don scoring 4 runs in the bottom of the first with singles off the bat of Jordan Bate, a bunt single by Aislinn Sharp, a single by Breely Young, and then Amanda Mitchell. So 4 base hits to go along with a walk to Mallory Barber to lead off the inning, led to 4 early runs as the count is now 2-1 on Benson. And that pitch is swung on and grounded over to third, and it is bobbled by the third baseman and then thrown over the first baseman's head. And Trinity Benson will be able to move over to second base, and this Thunder's team looks very rattled in the early going. A little bit of a double error by the third baseman, Caitlin Phillips. First bobbling that ball, allowing Benson to reach first, and then throwing it over Kodalyn Old's head, allowing her to move over to second.
Number 4, Mallory Barber.
And with no outs here in the bottom of the second inning, Trinity Benson over on second base now as Mallory Barber steps to the plate. And Barber will pop that up out into the left center field gap, and it will drop. And that will allow Benson to move over to third. Runners on the corners now. A little bit of an unlucky break for the Thunder there in St. Clair as She made a good pitch, got a pop-up, but it just found a gap out there in left center.
Now batting shortstop number 17, Gabby Beckstrom.
Runners on the corners now with nobody out. Trinity Benson on third. Mallory Barber reaching for the second time today, as she is now on first, and the senior Gabby Beckstrom at the plate now. As she takes that pitch low and in the dirt for ball one. Beckstrom popped out to third base her first time up. As she squares around to bunt, and she takes strike one, but on the pitch, Barber steals second, as runners are now on second and third, and a single will likely drive in two more. And swung on and fouled back by Beckstrom, bringing the count even at 1-1 now. The 1-1 now here in the bottom of the, the 1-2 now to Gabby Beckstrom, as she fouls that back to stay alive. And that pitch, the fastball up, will bring the count even to 2-2 now on Beckstrom. Mallory Barber is on second base. Trinity Benson is on third here with nobody out, as that pitch hit over the head of the catcher, and it is bobbled, and the play is unable to be made at the plate. And Trinity Benson comes in to score on the wild pitch. And on the play as well, Mallory Barber able to move over to third, as it is 5-0 now here in the bottom of the second inning. That pitch will also bring the count full to the batter Beckstrom. Beckstrom, a .562 hitter on the season. And a full count pitch coming now to Beckstrom, as there is a runner on third with one out here in the bottom of the second. One run already across. And that pitch is called strike three to Beckstrom for the first out of the inning here in the bottom of the second. Great pitch there by Sinclair to catch Beckstrom looking. Jordan Bate, the senior right fielder, at the plate now, as she takes ball one low. The 1-0 coming now. And that pitch is going to catch the outside corner for strike one, bringing the count even at 1-1. Again, a pitch up and away, as the pitcher, St. Clair, is struggling a little bit on the mound. And that ball is grounded over to second. A nice play by the second baseman, Victoria Hinton, throwing it over to Kodalyn Olds for the second out of the inning, but a productive out nonetheless, as Mallory Barber is able to come in and score, extending this Lady Dons lead to 6-0 on the Bate ground out. Back-to-back outs here from St. Clair. And a strike to the junior catcher, Breely Rudd. Rudd flied out to left back in the first inning, and it is no easy task getting Rudd out. So great job by Bree St. Clair back in the first, as that pitch is low, bringing the count to 1-1 now. 4 runs for the Lady Dons in the bottom of the first. 2 so far in the bottom of the second, as that pitch is grounded just foul. Ground ball ripped down the third base line, as the count is now 1-2. And the 1-2 coming now to Rudd. Nobody on base here in the bottom of the second with 2 outs, 2 runs already across as that pitch is low and in the dirt. Count 2-2 now. Rudd on the year, a .582 hitter with 39 hits and 49 RBIs. As she takes strike 3 looking, the second strikeout of the inning for St. Clair. But not before the Lady Dons put 2 more runs up on the board off 1 base hit. No runners left on base, and as we head now to the 3rd inning here in this elimination game, it is 6-0 Dons over the Thunder here on SF-17.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
And welcome back here on SF-17 here in the 3rd inning in what has been a great start for the Lady Dons. 4 runs in the bottom of the first, 2 more in the bottom of the second. And Breely Young has been absolutely dominant out on the mound for the Lady Dons as well. And in this one, as the Lady Dons lost a surprising one yesterday, 2-1 to Cedar City, only their 2nd loss of the season and their first in-state loss, ended a 21 consecutive game winning streak for the Dons. On the season, the Dons are 24-2 as they attempt to win their 4th straight
First up for the Lady Thunder, catcher number 17, Morgan
state title.
Rosmeyer.
And at the plate now for the Desert Hills Thunder is the senior catcher Morgan Rosmeyer. Rosmeyer at the plate for the first time today. And the first pitch is fouled back, bringing the count to 0-1 on the senior. Breely Young working quickly so far in this one. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the first. And despite allowing a base hit in the second, they were able to throw the runner out at second base for a quick 3 up, 3 down in the second inning, as well as that pitch is low and in the dirt to Rosmeyer. And a fastball down the middle, bringing the count to 0-2 now. Or the 1-2, excuse me, on Rosmeyer coming now. As that pitch is swung on and fouled off down the right field side. And it looks like it may have caught our cameraman, Alex, down on the first base line there as he turns to try to get out of the way of that ball. An absolute blast of a foul ball down the first base line. We send our best wishes his way, hoping that he isn't suffering too much down there. As that pitch is up, bringing the count to 2-2. And again, the pitch fouled off to the right side off the bat of Rosmeyer. A nice job by Rosmeyer here, battling off and fouling off pitches here. Rosmeyer having a very nice year at the plate, a .379 hitter with 25 hits and 13 RBIs. So a very productive force for this Desert Hills lineup as she swings and misses on that one for the strikeout. The first out of the inning here in the top of the third, and that is back-to-back strikeouts for Breely Young. after not striking out any of the first 5 batters. A strikeout of Giacoletto to end the top of the second, and then of Rosemeyer to start the top of the third here, as there is 1 out now in the top of the third. The Lady Dons leading 6-0, with the 8-9 hitters coming up as the junior right fielder Quincy Staley now steps up to the plate. And a pitch low and in the dirt from Young will bring the count to 1-0. And a fastball down the middle will even the count up at 1-1. And she just gets out of the way, and the umpire says that it hits her. She looks surprised as if it didn't hit her, but she was awarded first base nonetheless. Must have just clipped her jersey or something. One of the best ways to get hit right there. As Staley moves down to first base, and the sophomore left fielder Abigail Black will now step up to the plate. As Black takes strike 1, and she is caught trying to steal second on the play as Staley is gunned out with ease. And a great play by the catcher, Breely Rudd there, and a little bit of an interesting decision for the Thunder as they're down 6-0 in desperate need of base runners, making a error on the base paths. Definitely a big mistake there. And the pitch is popped up over to the third baseman, Mallory Barber, and that will end the top of the third inning here. And another quick 1-2-3 inning for the Lady Dons. Again, a base runner given up on the hit by pitch this time, but damage averted on the caught stealing. And in the top of the third, no runs on no hits, no runners left on base. And as we head now to the bottom of the third inning, it is 6-0 Lady Dons, and we'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors for today's game: the Tony Basso Auto Group, Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson State Farm, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Mikkel Christiansen Wise Attorneys at Law, MVP Sports, Sporting Goods for all seasons, and 2 Jack's Pizza. And as we head now to the bottom of the third, the Lady Dons will be back up to the plate, scoring 4 runs in the bottom of the first, 2 more in the bottom of the second. And the junior Aislinn Sharp, the second baseman, leading off. And it looks like Bree St. Clair will still be out there on the mound. Despite struggling early, he has not gotten much support from her defense, and the Lady Dons have been able to jump all over them early in this one. A little bit of dancing and handshakes out on the mound. The Desert Hills Thunder still having a fun time in this game. We were down in St. George yesterday in a elimination game as well, and the men also played the Desert Hills Thunder, losing that one 9-8 in an absolute thriller of a game. A great season by the baseball team, battling back and winning 3 consecutive elimination games before falling 9-8 yesterday in that opener. As that pitch is fouled off the bat of Aislinn Sharp, bringing the count to 0-2 now. Good job by Bree St. Clair to work ahead early here. And that fastball will get away from the pitcher St. Clair as she lets out a big sigh and a laugh, as that pitch was absolutely nowhere close to the plate, bringing the count to 1-2 now. That pitch is fouled back off the backstop as the count will remain at 1-2. The winner of this one will play the winner of the Lehigh Tooele game happening on the field next to us, and we will be live at 12 o'clock for that one. Assuming the Dons can hold on to this 6-0 lead here in the bottom of the third, as that pitch is outside, bringing the count to 2-2 on Sharp. And so Sharp rips that one by the shortstop for a base hit, and that is another lead-off base runner for the Dons. 3 innings and 3 consecutive lead-off base runners, and every time that leadoff runner has been able to come in and score so far, a good recipe for success here in the early going. And the junior pitcher, Breeley Young, will now step up to the plate. Breeley Young reached on a single back in the top of the first. Part of that inning, in where 8 of the 9 Lady Dons hitters came to the plate. And the bunt attempt is not pulled back in time there, as that will bring the count to 0-1 on Young. Young definitely known for her pitching on this team, as she swings and misses through that one. She did not bat in the game that she pitched against the Kangian View Falcons, a 18-1 win in the first round of the tournament. And she did not play in the second game that afternoon against the Ridgeline Riverhawks. So battling is definitely not a specialty of hers, but as we saw last time, a single helped extend that big 4-run rally back in the first. So the count is now 2-2 on Young. And the 2-2 pitch is popped foul. Breeley Young, no slouch at the plate. When I say that she isn't known for her hitting, that does not mean that she can't hit the ball. She is still hitting .353 on the year with 6 hits and 4 RBIs. She just doesn't get in the box that often, but when she does, she still takes advantage and absolutely mashes that one out to right field for a 2-run homer. And that will bring the lead to 8-0 now in the bottom of the third. And Breeley Young with her first home run of the season. An absolute shot out to right field. And 2 runs across on 2 hits here in the bottom of the third, as the Dons creep ever closer to that 10-run rule here as we are still in the third. These games typically last 7 innings. The 5-run rule going into effect after the 5th. The 10-run rule, going into place after the team has had their 5th chance to bat. And coming to the plate now will be the junior first baseman, Amanda Mitchell. And Mitchell singling back in the first inning. One of the 4 singles that inning that led to 4 runs. And Mitchell grounds that one over to the second baseman. A nice play over there by Victoria Hinton. And that is the first out of the inning here in the bottom of the third.
Next up, number 3, Marie Condi.
And with 1 out now, Marie Condi, the junior center fielder, will step to the plate. Marie Condi, one of 3 strikeout victims for Bree St. Clair today. 2 runs across so far this inning, off the bat of a 2-run homer from Breeley Young, as that pitch is low and outside for ball 1 to Condi. Marie Condi on the year is a .385 hitter, as she drives that one into center field, and a nice diving catch out there by Kylie Christensen for the second out of the inning. That ball absolutely roped out to center off the bat of Condi, and Kylie Christensen able to come in and make a nice diving catch there for the second out of the inning here in the third. After a single to Aislinn Sharp and a homer from Breeley Young, St. Clair has done a good job of bouncing back here in this inning, getting Mitchell to ground out to second and Condi to fly out to center. And the pitch is low and outside to Trinity Benson. Benson led off the second inning, reaching on an error by the third baseman, and eventually coming around to score. That pitch is outside, bringing the count to 2-0 now. And the fastball in there for strike one. 8-0 here for our Lady Dons in the bottom of the third. No runners on base, and Trinity Benson at the plate with 2 outs here as she squares around to lay down the bunt. And takes that one inside, bringing the count to 3-1. That pitch of fastball inside, almost catching the elbow of Benson, but just able to move out of the way in time. And a nice pitch by St. Clair, bouncing backhand. Throwing the fastball in there to bring the count full. And that pitch is grounded over to the third baseman. And a nice play by Caitlin Phillips to end the inning here in the third. But not before a little bit more damage was done. A 2-run homer off the bat of Breely Young as 2 runs coming to score on 2 hits. No runners left in base. And after 3, it is 8-0 Dons here on SF17.
Wild Mustangs. They're supposed to be one of the most gentle creatures in nature.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these. That's why more people save money by combining their home and auto with State Farm.
Call State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
And welcome back here on SF17 as we are in the top of the 4th inning now. Breely Young back out there on the mound in what has been 3 dominant innings of work so far as the Lady Dons and Desert Hills Thunder are here on SF17 Sports. A reminder that you can watch this game on youtube.com/SpanishFork17, so get all your friends in on this exciting softball state playoff action. The Dons up 8-0 here in the 4th on the Desert Hills Thunder. A win in this one will send them to the next round of the losers bracket as they will play the winner of Lehigh and Tooele at noon if they are able to hold on in this one. And a leadoff strike to the leadoff hitter, the pitcher Bree St. Clair, as she flies that one out to center field. And a nice catch out there by McKay Condi for the first out of the inning here in the 4th. And with 1 out in the 4th, the minimum number of batters has come to the plate. 10 batters through 3 1/3. There has been 1 base hit to go along with 1 hit batter, but on both occasions, the runners were thrown out on the base paths. Christensen narrowly missing a homer back in the 2nd inning, thrown out by the center fielder Condi, trying to stretch it into a double, and a hit by pitch to Quincy Staley was eliminated on the throw out as she was caught stealing on a great throw by Breely Rudd. And the 0-1 pitch there to Caitlin Phillips brings the count to 0-1 on the junior third baseman. As that pitch is just outside for ball 1. The 1-1 from Breely Young now to Phillips. Phillips popped out to the catcher back in the 1st inning as that pitch is quite a bit up and in, bringing the count to 2-2. Phillips on the year a .424 hitter with 39 hits and 26 RBIs. Also has the 1 homer on the year as she pops that one into the infield. And Gabby Beckstrom will call that ball and make the play for the 2nd out of the inning. Nice play by the shortstop there. Showing some senior leadership on the infield there. And that is 2 outs now here in the top of the 4th. And after a quick 1-2, Breely Young will get to deal with the junior shortstop, Addison Betts. And that pitch is in there for strike 1. Great job by Breely Young getting ahead early in this one. And a swing and a miss for strike two on the breaking ball as Betts is out in front of that one. Betts flying out to center field in the top of the first. And the pitch just low to Addison Betts will bring the count to 1-2. Nice effort there by Breely Young, but unable to get the call as Betts digs back into the box here for the 1-2 pitch. And again, a pitch low. This one a little bit lower will bring the count even at 2-2. Betts the junior, a .556 hitter on the year. 50 hits. Will lead the team in hits with 42 RBIs. Also good for leading the team in RBIs. So the big hitter for this Thunders team. And the 2-2 again will come to Betts after she fouls that one off to the left-hand side. And again, doing a nice job of battling that one there, and that one will go right into the Thunder dugout. Eight nothing here in the top of the fourth inning. Don scoring 4 in the first, 2 more in the second, and 2 in the third. We're in the top of the fourth now, 2 outs, and a 2-2 count coming. And a pitch just inside, and she is being awarded first base. Again, it didn't look like it quite hit her, but this ump has been very generous in these awarding of hit by pitches, as that would have brought the count full, but Betts walking down to first base. As that pitch is swung on and missed by Victoria Hinton. Both hit batters today getting hit the right way. If they were hit, barely being brushed on the jersey, as Victoria Hinton now in the 0-1 hole here with 2 outs and the runner on first. And strike two, and a throw down by Rudd over to the first baseman Mitchell, and the tag is applied, but Betts able to dive back safely. Hinton popped out to second base to lead off the top of the second. The 0-2 coming now in her second plate appearance today as she swings and misses on the fastball up. And that will be strike three to end the inning here in the top of the fourth. No runs on no hits. 1 runner left on base on the hit by pitch. And as we head now to the bottom of the fourth inning, it is 8-0 Lady Dons. And we'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors as we head now to the bottom half of the fourth. The Tony Basso Auto Group, Dickerson Automotive, Lance Wilson State Farm, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Mikkel Christiansen Wise, Attorneys at Law, MVP Sports, and Two Jacks Pizza. And as you saw a moment ago there on the screen, a reminder that you can watch this game on youtube.com/SpanishFork17. We will be doing both games today, assuming that the Lady Dons are able to hold on in this one. Already up 8-0 here as we head now to the bottom of the fourth. We will be coming live to you again at noon as the Lehigh Pioneers are facing off against the Tooele Buffaloes on the field next door to us, and we will be facing off against the winner of that one.
Back to the top of the lineup for the Lady Dons.
And a win in that one later today would advance us to the final day of the tournament. We're getting down to the closing few games of this 2018 4A Utah High School State Softball Tournament. The Dons have won state 3 years in a row, 4 of the last 10 years, and have really become a dominant program in this state among these 4A softball teams. And not Breely Young, the pitcher, St. Clair, is back out there on the mound for the Thunder, and she will be facing off against the leadoff hitter, Mallory Barber, here in the bottom of the fourth inning. And a pitch a little up there will bring the count to 0-2 now. And that pitch is driven out to center field, and that is over the center fielder's head and just over the fence for a home run off the bat of Mallory Barber. her first home run today, and that will extend the lead now to 9-0 for the Lady Dons here in this one. Second home run of the day for the Lady Dons, a 2-run blast coming off the bat of Breely Young back in the bottom of the third, and a leadoff homer for Mallory Barber here in the bottom of the fourth, extending the Dons lead, as I mentioned a moment ago, to 9-0. Mallory Barber has 11 home runs on the year now, good for third most on this Dons team, trailing only Breely Rudd with 20 and Jordan Bate with 19. So a lot of power on this team. You have double-digit home runs in a softball season as an individual. That is very, very impressive. And a 11th home run for Mallory Barber here in this one. Barber has been very impressive so far in this tournament against the Canyon View Falcons. This past Monday, she went 3 for 4 with 2 singles and a homer. And then against the Ridgeline Riverhawks, she followed up her 3 for 4 performance with another 3 for 4 performance, this time coming with 1 single and 2 homers. So 4 home runs so far for Mallory Barber so far in this state tournament alone. And what an impressive performance so far. And it looks like we will have a pitching change out there on the mound as Bree St. Clair's day is done. St. Clair going 3 1/3 innings, allowing 9 runs on 8 hits. She was able to strike out 3 batters along the way, but a little bit of a rough day for Bree St. Clair out there on the mound. And we will have the new pitcher coming into today's game will be a much less used one on this roster, but nonetheless a very good one, as the junior Kylie Christensen now steps out to the mound for this Thunder as she tries to stop the bleeding here in the bottom of the fourth. And Kylie Christensen on the year has only made 1 appearance. So definitely not a common thing to see her out on the mound, but in that 1 appearance, she did pick up the win. She has a 1.75 ERA. She threw 4 innings in that appearance, giving up 5 hits, 2 runs, only 1 of them earned. And she struck out 3 while walking 0. So very impressive performance by her on the mound in her last time out, and she will try to replicate that one. Excuse me, it is Briley Christensen. Briley Young, excuse me. And a leadoff strike to Gabby Beckstrom. And that ball is ripped over to the third baseman, slams off of her, and she goes down. A very dangerous play on the hot shot down the third base line, and they will have to go out and take a look at her. Gabby Beckstrom absolutely smashing that ball to the hot corner. And there's a reason they call it the hot corner over there. She takes that one right off the body. Looks like she's shaking it off just fine, but taking a beating over there is the third baseman, taking that one right off her chest. And fortunately, it looks like she's going to be okay. On the play, Gabby Beckstrom able to reach base on the base hit. No outs still here in the bottom of the fourth. 1 run already across on the Mallory Barber home run. Kaylee Christensen now into the game, pitching for the Desert Hills Lady Thunder.
Next up, for the Lady Dons, right fielder number 2, Jordan Bate.
And the senior right fielder Jordan Bate at the plate now. And that pitch is inside for ball 1 to Jordan. Jordan having a nice day at the plate so far. Singling back in the first inning and coming around to score as a part of that 4-run bottom of the first. As she takes a fastball on the outside. The throw from Morgan Rosemeyer getting away back to the pitcher. But nicely backed up by the shortstop Addison Betts there, as the runner Gabby Beckstrom will have to stay on first. And the 1-1 to Bate is a little fly ball over to the second baseman. In a nice play, catching it on one hop and throwing it over to the first baseman, Kodalyn Olds, for the first out of the inning here. But on the play, Gabby Beckstrom able to move over to second base. The fielder's choice over to the second baseman for the first out of the inning will bring up the junior catcher, Breely Rudd. And that pitch is grounded foul off the bat of Rudd, and that will bring the count to 0-2. 1 run already in here in the bottom of the first off the bat of a Mallory Barber home run. Beckstrom on second now as the Dons are up 9-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. A steady dose of runs coming from this Dons lineup today. 4 runs in the first, 2 in the second, 2 more in the third, 1 across so far here in the fourth. And that pitch is low, and it gets by the catcher Morgan Rosemeyer, and that will allow Gabby Beckstrom to move over to third. And with the runner on third now, a fly ball or ground ball will be able to bring in another run off the bat of Rudd. As Rudd grounds that one foul as the count remains 1-2. Rudd opened up this tournament with a bang as she homered twice in the same inning. Yes, the same inning against the Canyon View Falcons. A 10-run fourth inning for the Falcons in the opener of this tournament. For the Dons in the opener of this tournament, winning that game 18-1, and Rudd going 2 for 4 in that game with 2 home runs as she rips that one foul as the count remains 0-2. In the second game of the tournament against the Riverhawks, Rudd was hit by a pitch and walked twice. She was able to come around and score 2 runs in that one as well. So Rudd has been on base a lot in the early going so far in this 2018 state tournament. As she swings and rips that one just fair down the line, and that will get out of play, and that will be a ground rule double for Rudd as Gabby Beckstrom comes in to score the second run of the inning here for the Dons. And no surprise to see Rudd getting on base. She was 0 for 2 on the day. And you just don't see that from a hitter as good as Rudd very often. And with the double there, her first hit of the day, she is now 1 for 3. And this lead has grown to 10-0 Lady Dons over the Lady Thunder here in the bottom of the fourth. And the batter at the plate now will be Aislinn Sharp. Aislinn Sharp also having a nice day today. Sharp is 2 for 2 on the day so far. And we have a pinch runner out there on second base now. Maddie Tracy. Maddie Tracy, number 8, will be taking over the running duties out on second base, giving Rudd a little bit of a breather and a chance to maybe go get her catcher's gear on. As that ball is absolutely mashed out to left field, and see you later, a 2-run homer off the bat of Aislinn Sharp. And the lead has been extended now to 12-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. Aislinn Sharp extending a already very impressive day. 3 for 3 at the plate, as Maddie Tracy is able to run on home from second. Aislinn Sharp with the 2-run homer, and it is 12-0 now as 4 runs have come into score here in the bottom of the fourth. Similar to the bottom of the first, 4 runs here in the bottom of the fourth. And the batter now will be Breely Young, the junior first baseman. Breely also having a great day at the plate, 2 for 2 with a single and a 2-run homer back in the third, as she takes a breaking ball for ball 1. The 1-0 coming now to Young. Young has been impressive at the plate and on the mound today as well. As that ball is low, bringing the count to 1-1 now. Young has pitched 4 innings for the Lady Dons today, only allowing 1 hit and 3 base runners, no runs on 3 strikeouts, and doing a little bit of both sides here. Great pitching and great hitting, as that ball in the dirt brings the count to 2-1 on Breely. And a ground ball over to the second baseman, and a nice play by Victoria Hinton for the second out of the inning here in the bottom of the fourth. Young retired for the first time today, and that is 2 outs now. 4 runs across the score here in the fourth, and the junior first baseman Amanda Mitchell at the plate. Mitchell 1 for 2 on the day, singling back in the first, grounding out to second in the third. Mitchell on the year is a .367 hitter with 22 hits and 11 RBIs. As she takes strike 1 on the outside corner from Kaylee Christensen. As she swings through the changeup there, bringing the count to 0-2. Christensen struggling a little bit here in the early going coming into this game. Lead already 9-0 when she came in with no outs in the inning. She has recorded 2 outs while giving up 3 runs. As that pitch is a ball outside, bringing the count to 1-2. Christensen allowing big hits. A RBI double down the left field line to Breely Rudd, and a 2-run homer off the bat of Aislinn Sharp, as that pitch will bloop in there just over Christensen's head, and the shortstop Addison Betts, by the time she came up with that ball on the charge, there was no play at first. Amanda Mitchell too quick getting down the line, and that will be a 2-out single for Mitchell. And the junior center fielder Marie Condi now stepping to the plate, as Condi takes ball 1 low. Condi, the only Lady Don to fail to reach base so far today, and you know that she's just itching to get in on that action. And she hits a ground ball over to first base. And a nice play by Kodalyn Olds, fielding that ball cleanly, stepping on the base, and that will end the inning here in the bottom of the fourth. But not before 4 more runs come across here in this inning on 5 hits, 2 home runs, a big 2-run homer off the bat of Aislinn Sharp, and it is 12-0 here. Dons over the Thunder here on SF-17.
Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
And welcome back here on SF-17 as we head to the top of the 5th inning now. And it's been a steady dose of offense for this Lady Dons lineup today. 4 runs in the bottom of the first, 2 in the second, 2 more in the third, and then bookending it with 4 more in the bottom of the fourth, and that leaves us at a 12-0 score here at the field here in Spanish Fork as our Lady Dons look to get 3 more outs to 10-run the Thunder here in the 5th. Breely Young back out there on the mound as the new pitcher for the Thunder, Kylie Christensen, steps up to the plate. And a strike there will bring the count even at 1-1. Kylie Christensen with the best swing by any Thunder hitter today, driving a ball out to right center, missing a homer by just about a foot, hitting the middle of the wall. And then as she tried to stretch and go to second base, getting thrown out. So a little bit of a tough break for the Thunder, and a great play by McKay Condi out there in center field to make it so that Christensen couldn't get the extra base hit. And it is 1-2 now on Christensen after she fouls that ball down the left field side. And the pitch just up and away will bring the count even at 2-2 now. Breely Young has faced the minimum number of hitters through the first 3 innings, allowed 4 hitters to come to the plate in the 4th. So very efficient work here so far today as a ground ball over to the third baseman, Mallory Barber, and a nice throw over to first for the first out of the inning here in the top of the 5th. And with 1 out now here in the top of the 5th, the hitter will be the sophomore designated player, Oakley Giacoletto. Giacoletto moving over to third base last inning and taking a shot at third base off the line drive single off the bat of Gabby Beckstrom. And a swing and a miss will bring the count to 0-2 on Giacoletto. Giacoletto striking out, looking back in the second inning. One of 3 strikeouts on the day for Breely Young. And a fly ball over to second base. And a nice play by Aislinn Sharp, retiring that for the second out of the inning. And Briley has been absolutely dealing today, as that is 2 outs now in the top of the 5th. The Thunder hitter have been unable to really square up the ball today, and they are 1 out away from being 10-run here in the top of the 5th. 12-0 Lady Dons as Briley Young continues to deal. And a strike right down the middle to the senior catcher, Morgan Rosemeyer. And fouled off for strike 2 now, as the count moves to 0-2. And Brightly is 1 strike away from finishing this Thunder team off and helping the Lady Dons advance to a game later this afternoon. As that pitch is fouled off down the left-hand side. The 0-2 coming now to Rosemeyer. And a swing and a miss, and that will end the game here. And a quick 1-2-3 inning. No runs on no hits, no runners left on base. And that will end this one, a 12-0 win for the Lady Dons here in Spanish Fork. And they will advance to a game later this afternoon against the winner of the Lehigh Pioneers Tooele Buffaloes game. And we will be back here at noon. We'd like to thank you for tuning into today's game. And an absolutely dominating performance from Breeley Young on the mound. Only 1 hit, 3 base runners allowed on a couple hit by pitches. And the home run ball also playing a big part in this one. Home runs for Mallory Barber, Aislinn Sharp, and Briley Young helping do some damage in this one. And we will be back here at 12 o'clock this afternoon. And we thank you for tuning into this broadcast. For everyone on our fantastic Spanish Fork 17 crew, I'm Elliot Sharfs, and it is another Lady Dons winner.
Is really open to anyone who would like to be involved in community service. And so male, female, doesn't matter. We have men and women that are both members of our club. We welcome anyone who would like to participate in any of these events and contribute and give back to come find out more about Kiwanis and join with us. We are so excited to be here tonight and are grateful for you being in attendance. This is one of the greatest opportunities that we have to recognize outstanding youth in our area. Tonight we recognize 86 terrific kids from the schools, elementary schools in Spanish Fork and Salem. I'd like all of those children being recognized, if you would please stand. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. Every 6th grade class in Spanish Fork and Salem, we ask the teachers to select one boy and one girl who would be recognized as terrific kids. And if you want to know what terrific stands for, again, look at the back of your program. It says, a terrific kid has these qualities: thoughtful, enthusiastic, respectful, responsible, inclusive, friendly, inquisitive, and capable. Now, you young people, I thought about giving an hour speech, but I know that there's other things that we have that are really important tonight. Soccer games, maybe a basketball game, right? So we want to recognize you because this is one of those opportunities for your parents to really have what we call a payday, right? All that hard work, all that complaining they put up with every morning, getting you out to school, right? Making sure you have your stuff and your lunch and all those things that you often forget. This is one of those times where as parents we're like, oh my gosh, thank heavens, somebody recognizes that my kid really is amazing. I've always thought that, but I'm so grateful somebody else recognizes that. 2 years ago, I had a parent email me. She said, you don't know this, but I went through a divorce just at the beginning of this year. It's been a real struggle for my family. And my kids have been dramatically impacted. When I found out that my son had received and was being honored as a terrific kid, it totally changed my perspective and allowed me to see him in a different light. So parents, hug your kids, tell them that they're wonderful again, all right? Now, tonight, we recognize 6th graders, but I also want you to know that as a Kiwanis Club of Spanish Fork, we are always having our doors open. Anybody who wants to help serve in the community. Spanish Fork, Salem, we have members from Provo, right, Doug? Who come and are part of our club because it's so awesome. So if you would like to be involved and participate in service and do great things to help like this, we would invite you to come. Talk to any one of us, all right? Beyond tonight, again, terrific kids, I want you to just be aware that at the 9th grade level, we also as a Kiwanis Club give out what we call Hope of America Awards. And those awards recognized outstanding 9th graders. So continue to be terrific, continue to do good things. And those opportunities will continue to magnify themselves. We also, because of your contributions at buying hamburgers during the Spanish Fork Rodeo at the Kiwanis stand, we use that money, and all that money goes back into the community. We also give out 6 $1,000 scholarships to seniors. So again, that is an awesome thing that we're able to do because of the generous support of the community. And so if you want to help with the rodeo, hey, we are more than happy to take those helping hands, okay? And again, this is one of those great things that we have a chance to participate in. Tonight, as we honor these terrific kids, we will go through the program. I'm committed to try and get you out of here by 8 o'clock, okay? Which we're going to make that happen, all right? Because I know, like I said, I know there's lots of things that families are busy and involved with. There's one thing that I would like to leave you with, though, before we start introducing these young people, and it's a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. I've always loved this quote because it speaks of how important service is. He says, everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject or verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. So tonight, as we honor these 86 terrific kids, I recognize and appreciate what you do in your classrooms, how you have been willing to help your teacher and your fellow students, and just encourage you to continue to do that in the years ahead. Also, just letting you know that this isn't the end of it. When you have your 6th grade awards program at your elementary school, we have a Kiwanis member who will come and present a plaque. Your name will be engraved on that plaque, and it hangs on the wall of the school. So guess what? 30 years from now, when you're there with your kids, you can say, look, when I was in 6th grade, I was a terrific kid. That's pretty awesome. Okay? All right, so we're going to start with American Leadership Academy. Anju Barney, if you'll pass those out, okay? Olivia Carroll, go ahead and come right up. Enya Hill, Ashley Van Horn, Bennett Blair, Ryder Osler, Jonathan Walquist, and Cole Walters. Cole Walters. Next, we have Brockbank Elementary School. We have Alexandra Avalos, Addie Hanks, Megan Oldham, Bentley Briggs, Andrew Holt, and Tyson Rich. So swing around this way, guys. There you go. Next, we have Canyon Elementary School. Emily Gwillem, Cora Hansen, Brooklyn Smith, Carson Lewis, Adney Reed, and Soren Turner. Okay, we get them all? One more? All right, thank you. Okay, next we have East Meadows Elementary. Adelis Flores, Cami Merrill, Faith Diedeker, Carson Fulmer, Ethan Beckstead, and Samuel Frederick.